Have you ever wondered why some people spend on their credit card as if it were free money?
To many, the money in that little piece of plastic feels like their own until the bill arrives.
Psychologically, the brain treats credit as possession, and if you can spend it now, it feels like it's yours. Each swipe releases a tiny hit of dopamine, the same chemical that drives pleasure and excitement. When you don't see the cash leave your hand, your brain doesn't feel the pain of spending. A card feels clean, modern, and painless, far removed from the friction of parting with real money.
People often think, "I'll handle it later." But the brain struggles to imagine the pain of future debt.
Credit cards create an illusion of stability. You feel in control while quietly losing track of reality. For some, using a credit card feels powerful, like proof they've made it or belong in a higher class. When emotions rise, logic fades. "I deserve this" becomes the invisible phrase behind every purchase. When stress hits, a credit card becomes comfort, a quick escape disguised as convenience.
Many use the card to reward themselves, a way to feel better, even if just for a moment. With a credit card, numbers lose meaning. 1,000 feels like 100, and 100 feels like nothing.
One small purchase becomes another, and suddenly, the total becomes a silent mountain.
Many avoid checking their balance, because as long as they don't look, the debt doesn't feel real. They tell themselves they're in control, even when the card controls every decision they make.
The shock comes later, when the bill arrives, and the past month finally becomes real.
Guilt hits hard, not from spending, but from realizing the emotional cost behind the purchase. Then the cycle repeats: stress, spending, pleasure, regret, again and again. For many, it's not about money at all, but about emotions they haven't learned to face.
For some, spending becomes escape, a way to feel alive when life feels heavy.
A credit card can feel like confidence borrowed from the future, temporary, fragile, and costly. They start to define themselves by what they buy, instead of who they truly are.
Inside, there's a quiet battle. Joy from buying, fear from debt, and confusion in between.
Eventually, many realize the truth, that borrowed money cannot fill emotional gaps. Some begin to take control, tracking spending, facing fears, and making peace with their habits. They start understanding their triggers: stress, loneliness, pressure, or the need to feel valued.
And slowly, they learn that real security comes not from a card, but from stability, awareness, and self-respect. They begin to see the card as a tool, not a lifeline, not a replacement for emotional comfort.
In the end, credit is not the enemy. It's our emotions that shape how we use it and how it uses us.